Hey, shalom, Makim, shalom. First and foremost, as always, I'm going to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone, and taught us his truth, and that's what teaching his truth. And much peace, love, and salutation to the elect, beginning with the 144,000, all the way down to the large multitude that believes and who the Lord will deliver in these last days. To you all, I say shalom. I'm the brother Tazamah from the Great Millstone Dallas camp, coming back today with another lesson. And Lord willing, this lesson today will be edifying. And I want to go in on this article that you see here on the screen. This is from endoftheamericandream.com. All right, and it says the blood moon Penumbral eclipse on March 25th will happen at about the same time the devil comet becomes visible to the naked eye. And this is nothing more than Yahweh Bashem Shai showing forth signs in the heavens, because we understand and know that something big is getting ready to happen very soon. All right, now with this eclipse, with this lunar eclipse that's going to take place on March 25th, you know, this is actually going to happen. All right, this is actually going to happen. You know, during the Passover. You know, you're going to have, well, the Passover is going to be March the 23rd. You know, that's where we're going to celebrate it here at Great Millstone. You know, March 23rd at sundown is whenever we're going to, you know, celebrate the Passover. But then you have the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which is going to be, you know, 7 days. So, you know, March 23rd at sundown is whenever we're going to begin the Passover. And that's going to also mark the first day, all right, at sundown. All right, that's going to be the next day, which is going to institute the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. So this is actually going to be taking place, all right, during the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Okay, then, you know, some weeks after that, you're going to have the solar eclipse is going to happen on April the 8th, which is going to complete an X through America. It's going to pass through 7 cities called Nineveh, you know. So this is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, all right, showing forth signs in the heavens, which that's what the celestial bodies were created to do. Okay, this is Genesis 1:14. It says, in the powers, that word God, it says God here, but we know in the Hebrew, that word is Alahayim. Okay, so it says, in the Alahayim, or the powers, said, let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night. And let them be for signs and for seasons, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. But the key word that we want to focus on here is the word signs. You know, and the sign is a distinguishing mark. So when you got this lunar eclipse taking place March 25th, okay, then you're going to have the solar eclipse take place on April 8th. That's definitely a major implication and a major sign, all right, that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is getting ready to do something very, very drastic here in the very near future. Okay, we understand and know that this system of Esau Edom, all right, this beast system is getting ready to go down. You know, could this be a sign that the MOTB could be implemented this year? It's very you know, very well could be. It's soon to be seen, of course, but you know, the us that are spiritual, you know, scripture says that a spiritual man judgeth all things. All right, this is definitely something big that's getting ready to happen here very soon. Okay, scripture also says in Ecclesiastes, the 8th chapter, that a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment. Okay, this is Ecclesiastes 8, and we'll actually start here at verse 4. All right, this is Ecclesiastes 8 and 4. It says, where the word of a king is, there is power. And who may say unto him, what doest thou? Whoso keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing. All right, now let's just get this word. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to plug my phone up real fast. Now let's get this word feel real quick here. So it says, whoso keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing. All right, and that's what we're commanded to do in these last days to the best of our ability. All right, is to fear Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and keep his commandments to the best of our ability. Now, can you keep his commandments perfectly in this society, in this flesh, in this kingdom? No, you can't keep his commandments perfectly. You know, we strive, we do strive for the masteries, but, you know, ultimately, you know, it's having faith, all right, in Yahushua. Faith that his blood will cover us in these last days, man. You know, faith that we're protected. You know, fear and faith is synonymous. Okay, so it says shall feel no evil thing, and that word feel in the Hebrew is yadai, which that means to know. Okay, to know or to perceive. All right. Let's go here. So it says, he whosoever keepeth the commandments shall feel no evil thing, which says absolutely to have knowledge or be wise. Okay. So let's read this in the NLT. It says, those who obey him will not be punished. Okay. Those who are wise will find a time and a way to do what is right. Okay. It says those who are wise will find a time and a way to do what is right. And we're in that time right now where we need to be getting more so right with Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai. Because these people in this world are just walking completely to their destruction, having no idea. You know, you're gonna have people, you know, you got droves of people that are gonna come down here for this April 8th solar eclipse, you know, coming here to Texas specifically. And you know, you're gonna have a lot of people coming to Ennis, Texas to watch this, you know, supernatural, you know, phenomenon in the heavens. But little do they know that this is really a sign. This is really Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai speaking. Scripture says that his judgments are known in the earth. Okay. Verse 6, it says, for there is a time and a way, for there is a time and a way for everything, even when a person is in trouble. You see, and this is a clear sign that what, you know, Jacob's troubles is near, man. This is the year deemed by Elder Apostle Tahar, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, and you have a lot of these signs that are happening in the heavens, man, letting us know what time it is. You know, the Apostle Paul said, he said, of the times and of the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. And you read that in 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter. Okay? So, let's read this. All right, it says, during the next couple of months, so many amazing things are going to be happening in the heavens. For example, during the Great American Eclipse of 2024 on April 8th, all right, the sun, the moon, and the 7 other planets in our solar system will all line up in the sky. And that's another thing, you know, all the planets pretty much are going to be in they're going to all be lined up. Okay. It says the 7 other planets in our solar system will form a line as the path of the great American eclipse of 2024 crosses America, man. You see? Now you would have in the ancient world, you know, when these things would take place and happen, whether it would be like a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse or something like that, you know, you would have the heathen, okay, that will get dismayed at these things. You know, they'll begin to start worshiping the host of heavens, the host of the heavens, you know, like the planets and things of that nature, which we're not commanded to do that. Okay, we're commanded to fear Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai, not fear, you know, the planetary alignments and things of that nature. You know, the heathen, as it says in Jeremiah the 10th chapter, that the heathen are dismayed at them. Okay, because you would have Jake that would get into these different heathenistic practices and start worshiping the planets, you know, the moon and the sun, and that's pretty much modern day quote unquote religion today. You know, when you look at the Roman Catholic Church, you know, how they worship Mary, and you know, that really goes back to Queen of Heaven worship. You know, Islam really goes back to to worship of the moon. You know, you have a church where they celebrate Christianity on Sunday, which goes back to the worship of the sun or Baal, Apis the bull. You know, all these different things. You know, that's why it's all rooted in idolatry. Okay. It says it is almost as if our entire solar system will be screaming that this is a once in a lifetime event, man. So those of us that are in the know, You know, we're excited when we see these particular things, man. You know, what did Yahweh Shai say? He said this in Matthew the 13th chapter. All right, let's see, Matthew 13 in verse 16. It says, but blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. It says, for verily I say unto you, that many prophets, all right, that many prophets and righteous men desired to see those things which ye see, and not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. It says many righteous men. You see, and we're seeing things and hearing things in these last days that are showing forth that these prophecies are screaming off the pages at this point, man. You know, the fall of Esau, Edom's kingdom, the ushering in of Yahweh Shai's kingdom, you know, the gathering together of the elect beginning with 144,000. All these things that are happening right now are events that are taking place worldwide, all right, that our forefathers wrote about thousands of years ago, man. And like I said, the main thing that we're looking to see come to pass, because we understand and know once this happens, you know, Yahweh Shai is the next prophecy is World War III and Yahweh Shai returning, man. Is the mandatory implementation of the MOTB. And you see the infrastructure being set up for it, man. It's already set up. They just need the perfect event to usher it in. You see? And Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, he works in time. All right? Let's also get this here in Luke 21. I like to always bring this one out too. All right, this is Luke 21. And I'm going to start at verse 24. It says, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And now this is whenever we fell, all right, during the fall of Jerusalem in 70 AD. Okay, when the Romans came through, you know, sacked the temple. Okay, and we were pretty much scattered and dispersed into Asia Minor, you know, into the interiors of Africa, North Central, and West Africa. You know, it was pretty much, that's what you call the diaspora, where we were scattered. Okay, and from that point, realistically, you know, we have not been back in our homeland like that. Okay, it says, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. All right, it says, in Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, which is talking about the actual heathen, because you have the Gentiles, the actual heathen that are in our land right now, those Palestinians, you know, Ishmaelites, you know, Elamites, you know, the Amalekites, which those are the main ones that are in our land right now, but feigning themselves to be us when they're really not. All right, our land is being trodden down by the Gentiles. Okay. And you can read about how they want to part our land when you read in Joel the third chapter. You know, it says until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Now, when you get this word times in Luke 21 and 24, that word times is kahiras. All right, kahiras. Now, when you get that definition there, it says the time granted to the Gentiles, right? The time that's granted to them, that's the key word, granted to them, until the Most High shall take vengeance on them. So a great vengeance upon our enemies is getting ready to take place. You see? A great vengeance upon our enemies is getting ready to take place here very, very soon. Okay? Because that's whenever you lead into segue into verse 25. It says, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars. So you're going to have a sign in the moon, okay, March 25th. And you're going to have a sign, you know, which you're going to have a sign in the moon, March 25th, which is going to pretty much segue in with the sun as well. You know, it's pretty much a shadow that's going to be casted upon the moon, which is going to cause the moon to look a different color. And then on April 8th, you're going to have a sign in the sun where the moon is pretty much going to cross paths with the sun. And that's going to happen, okay, pretty much during the time of a new moon. Okay? For the solar eclipse. Because the lunar eclipse takes place during the a lunar eclipse takes place during a full moon. Let's do lunar eclipse. I know I spelled it wrong. Full moon. A lunar eclipse can only occur during a full moon. Okay, a lunar eclipse occurs during a full moon, and then a solar eclipse occurs during a new moon. Okay, and the new moon is whenever the moon is darkened, and a full moon is whenever the moon is fully lit up. Contrary to what the IUIC teaches, that it's the opposite way. A new moon is whenever the moon is full, then a full moon is whenever the moon ain't lit. You know, and this proves, all right, this proves, you know, what the moon cycle is, because whenever Yahushua was crucified, he was crucified, all right, on the, you know, pretty much on the Passover, which that was a full moon. Okay, because that was the 14th day of the month. But anyways, going back to the scripture, it says, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars. You see, they're going to have something called the devil's comet. That's going to pass by, man. And I think about that pretty much indicating that this devil's kingdom is going down. You know, I've seen Satan fall as lightning, as Yahushua said, man. Okay, it says, and upon the earth distress of nations. So when these things begin to happen, whenever the times of the Gentiles is fulfilled, upon the earth is going to be what? Distress of nations, with perplexity. And that word perplexity goes into with confusion. Okay, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming upon the earth. For the powers of the heavens, or the powers of heaven, shall be shaken. Okay, because ultimately, you know, like I said, you know, or rather, like the scripture says, it's going to be World War III. You know, which is going to segue into thermonuclear destruction. Okay, you're going to have the MOTB already be implemented before World War III happens, and then ultimately the grand finale is Yahushua coming back, verse 27. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in power with great glory. You see that? And that's whenever Yahushua is going to return in what the world calls UFOs, which is going to be the chariots. You see? So like I said, this ain't just no little, you know, event. Whereas you're going to have all these heavenly things that are taking place, just happening. You know, and just people, oh yeah, you know, seven planets are lining together, and that's going to be a comet. And you know what I'm saying? Like I've never seen a comet before. You know what I'm saying? I know they talk about Halley's Comet, but I think the last time that Halley's Comet happened, I wasn't even born yet. I don't think so. You know, I can't, like I said, I can't remember physically seeing any comet in my lifetime. So it's definitely very, very highly spiritual activity happening in the heavens. Okay, it says, but before we get to April 8th, there will be some other absolutely incredible things happening in the skies above our heads. On March 25th, we will witness a penumbral lunar eclipse. The following comes from Wikipedia, and let's just take a look at this because I'm not too sure what penumbral means, but let's just take a look here. A penumbral lunar eclipse will take place on Monday, March 25th, 2024. It will be visible to the naked eye as 95.57% of the moon will be immersed in Earth's penumbral shadow. Okay, and I kind of want to just see something real quick, like what a penumbral lunar eclipse looks like. Let's see. Let's do this real quick. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna come here and do this. We'll see what penumbral means in the etymology. Hopefully it'll pull up. We'll see. Penumbral. Penumbrae or penumbra. Partially shaded region around the shadow partially shaded region around the shadow of an opaque body, a partial shadow. So I guess the moon would have a partial shadow about it. Partial shadow outside the complete shadow of a partial shadow outside the complete shadow of an eclipse. Okay, so it's a partial shadow outside the complete shadow of an eclipse. And I want to look at realistically, I want to look at a picture of it real quick and see if I can get an image of what a penumbral lunar eclipse looks like. Just bear with me. So the Earth, so pretty much the moon is going to be full, but you know, it's going to look full, but it's going to have like a shadow about it. It's pretty much what it is. And it's going to cause which is going to be from the Earth, causing a shadow upon it. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, that's very, very highly interesting. Like I said, but and then you're going to have that solar eclipse that's going to happen with that comet taking place too. You know? So, it says okay, we just read that. It says so much attention has been focused on the Great American Eclipse on 2024 on April 8th. The other eclipse has kind of snuck up upon us. It says apparently much of the planet will be able to view this lunar eclipse. So this is going to be something that pretty much everybody's going to be able to see. Okay, and these are, like I said, these are signs that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is showing us to let us know what time it is, man. Okay, let's get another precept. Let's get 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter. Okay, because Esau's getting ready to go down, man. This system, man, and good riddance, man. You know, good riddance, man. And you could feel it. You could feel it in the atmosphere. You could just feel the tension. You know, you can feel something big is getting ready to happen here very soon, man. A lot of these people are on edge. You know, you clearly see Esau scrambling. You know, these elites, and you know, you seeing how these quote unquote Congress members and people are moving, man. You know, they're scrambling because something big is getting ready to happen soon. Okay, this is 2nd Ezra 9 and 2nd Ezra 9 and 1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, and these are some of the signs here, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Okay? And that's the facts, man. Okay, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is getting ready to visit this place, man. And that word visit, when you get it, in the Hebrew is paquad, which also means to punish. And this is also known as the land of visitation. Okay? Let's get that real quick. Jeremiah 50 and 21. Go up against the land of Merathaim, which Merathaim means double rebellion. Okay? Even against it, and against the inhabitants of Pakad, which means the visitation, which this is talking about America. And the Lord is visiting this place currently right now with signs in the heavens. You know, the chariots is visiting this place, which, you know, tells you that the eyes of the Lord are upon a sinful kingdom. You know, which at that time when that was written, I was talking about Israel, but that's, you know, this is talking about Esau now. These Edomites, America. Okay. It says, waste and utterly destroy after them, saith Yahweh, and do according to all that I've commanded thee. Which, you know, what's ultimately going to waste and destroy this place and consume it is going to be these missiles, man. The ICBM thermonuclear missiles that Russia's going to shoot off, Iran going to shoot them off, you know, China going to shoot them off, you know. And then you also going to have NATO allies that are going to shoot off their missiles on this place too. NATO and EU allies. You see, this place is going to be completely wasted in an hour. That's how this place is going to be melted in an hour, man. You know. Okay, let's go here. It says, interestingly, this will also be a blood moon eclipse. So it's going to be a penumbral eclipse, which is going to cast a shadow. And there's also going to be a blood moon eclipse. And so to many people, the moon will appear to have a reddish color. And remember, the scriptures say this. Okay, Joel, the 2nd chapter, let's get that. All right, the moon shall be turned into blood before the great and dreadful day of the Lord. Okay. Just bear with me here. Yep. This is Joel 2:31. All right. Just bear with me. It's Joel 2:31. All right, I saw the verse 30. It says, and I will show wonders, and I will show wonders in the heavens. All right, I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. Shit, you just had a huge wildfire that took place in eastern Texas, man. Whereas, like, I want to say, like, over 1 million acres of land got burned up. All right, it says the sun shall be turned into darkness, solar eclipse, okay, and the moon into blood moons, okay, before the great and terrible day of Yahweh come. Okay, so these are signs, and we're reading it right here. Let's read this in the NLT. The sun will become dark, and the moon will turn blood red before the great and terrible day of Yahweh arrives. Okay, back in the KJV, verse 32, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of Yahweh shall be delivered. Okay, and who's going to call upon the name of the Lord? It's going to let's continue to read, letting you know that we're going to have to call upon His name. IUIC. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, which is who? The Israelites. Okay, beginning with the elect, as Yahweh has said, and in the remnant, the elect, whom the Yahweh shall call, not the Salakia, whom Yahweh, which his name means He is, shall call, which ultimately are the elect. You know, so when we see these things, you know, we give all praises, Barakatah Yahweh B'Shem Shai, call Halal Yahweh B'Shem Shai for what the Lord is bringing upon the planet Earth, letting us know that He's getting ready to call His elect home, man. And He's going to send Yahweh Shai, His only begotten Son, to gather us together in this word, and it begins with this word going out. Okay, biblical expert warns of upcoming blood moons, beginning of global economic tragedy. You see, so we're coming into a time this year where it's going to be completely, and you got, you know, particular Christian pastors that are saying this, man. You know, but they ain't gonna be talking about this in the wacky tacky black church, where you got a nigga just sweating all damn day, hard, screaming at the top of his lungs. You know, all of a sudden that gold tie bowl come around, and you know, the black church is the biggest joke. Okay, the black church is the biggest joke going. Okay, and like I said, they ain't gonna be talking about this in the black church, man. But you got a lot of these Edomite pastors, you know, that are actually bringing these things up. You know, they'll go into the MOTB and let you know that the MOTB is the Marco C hip. You know, they'll go into these events that are happening, you know, with these eclipses and these comets passing by and linking it up to the scriptures, man. You know, the scriptures say that the children of this world are wiser than the children of this world, are wiser than the children of light, man. You know? So like I said, they'll go into these things and break these things down. Like I said, you got Jake at the black church making all this goddamn noise, man. You know, sweating, screaming, you know. It says on top of everything else, this blood moon eclipse also coincides with Purim. Okay? And when you read about Purim, and this is according to the Small Hats time when they celebrated, but when you read the story of Purim, whereas you can read that story in Esther, it was pretty much a victory that Yahweh Bashim Shai granted, all right, to Mordecai, and, through Esther, because Mordecai was pretty much the one, when you read the story, pretty much Israel, Jake was going to pretty much be annihilated by Haman, in which Haman was an Edomite. You see, and he wanted to put all Israel, like he pretty much wanted to make a mass genocide on all Israel, but it really fell back and it fell upon Haman. It fell upon Haman and his household, man. And really, Esau fell, So then they're saying that this blood moon occurs during that time. When they're going to celebrate it. So that's also another sign, man. The scriptures say what? Esau is the end of the world. Okay, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, man. Okay? And let's just do this for newer, like I said, for newer readers. It says Purim is a Jewish holiday, which, we understand and know that word Jewish doesn't exist. All right, the word Purim is a Jewish holiday that commemorates the saving of the Jewish people from annihilation at the hands of an official of the Achaemenid Empire named Haman, which he was an Edomite, as it is recounted in the book of Esther. All right, Haman was the royal advisor to the Persian king Ahasuerus, or Xerxes. He's pretty much like his second in command. His plans were foiled by Mordecai of the tribe of Benjamin and Esther, which Esther's name was Hadassah. Okay, Mordecai's cousin and adopted daughter, who became queen of Persia after her marriage to Ahasuerus. And like I said, you can read that in the book of Esther. But continuing on, and they're saying that the first day of Purim goes from sundown on March 23rd to sundown March 24th. But that's actually when we're going to be celebrating our Passover. Okay, here at Great Millstone. Then the second day of Purim goes from sundown March 24th to sundown March 25th. It says, so this is going to be a blood moon Purim eclipse. And Pastor Mark Blitz believes that it is quite appropriate that the moon will be eclipsed on Purim. And like I said, we're not going to celebrate Purim on this time, but this is what Esau's, the small hats are celebrating during their time. Okay. Let's see. Just kind of taking a look here at something. Let's see here. Like I said, this is going into the book of Esther. All right, it says, we also know that in late March, the devil comet will be racing through the sky as the blood moon eclipse is happening. So as all this stuff is happening, you got the penumbral lunar eclipse, the blood moon eclipse is also going to be, they're saying that it's going to be Purim. It's going to be during the time of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Passover that we're going to celebrate is going to be before that. It's also going to be a comet that's going to be flying through the heavens too. Okay. It says, in fact, it is being reported that it is possible that this comet could be visible to the naked eye at this time. And it's called the Devil's Comet, I want to say it is. The Devil Comet could become visible to the naked eye this month. So that's another sign in the heavens, man. Okay? Man, it says this comet only comes around once every 71 years. And it just makes me think about completion. The number 7 is completion. I'm just kind of, because I got to get ready to go. So the run of the Devil Comet, and it's funny, it's called the Devil Comet. But once again, it makes me think of the scripture. Like I said, I quote it again. I beheld Satan fall as lightning. Okay? So the run of the Devil Comet will be taking place during the blood moon Purim eclipse on March 25th and the total solar eclipse on April 8th. And that just ain't no coincidence. You see? And they talking about, a star 3,000 light years away will explode. You got to just, how the hell Esau going to know that with that? You know what I mean? But anyways, But yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Yahweh Bashim Shai, he said, we got to watch. Be paying attention. Because when these things begin to come upon the planet Earth in their perfection, Okay, Yahweh, that's a sign that Yahweh Bashem Al Shah is getting ready to do something. All right, so Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Al Shah, Bashem Hakodash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders, the great millstone that taught us his truth and that's what teaching his truth. And much peace, love, and salutation to the elect of the house of David. All right, beginning with 144,000 all the way down to the large multitude. Until next time, I say shalom.